just outside Washington, D.C. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one. As over the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Commanders. Sanders now to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. He takes this nearly 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there in every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing in the midfield. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there on the first play of the game. With 45 yards. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
He's going to flip that out to the front. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it'll be second down. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That gets on for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down to the same. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Daniels. They'll try and do this himself. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and working at the 5. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I'll let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Now Daniels going to keep it. And he's in. Touchdown Commanders. Jordan Daniels. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders get the Lions' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football. Because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
Jake Moody now for the point after. The kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. Get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former Texas Longhorn, their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him a starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown in the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try to get us ahead and try to keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown getting up.
With a 1-yard gain, they're going to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. Really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they've got a run across midfield down to the 30 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I continue to hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And boy, it all came together on that one.
That's what we're going to watch. I said, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play. We drew it up and decided, and then we got to see it unfold in real time. Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, and en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Off the middle, reach in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
They're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Now he works his way across the line of scrimmage and slides to a hole. The decision to take and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get him a little closer at least. If they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Jake Bailey on down the clock here on 4th down. And this works out well as they kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want to repeat their first drive.
They'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Well, there defensively was Jack Jones. There's not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Daniels looking to throw. Now they'll tuck this and run. And he'll get a little shot on 15 is taken down at the 14-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in continuing.
The safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's Treslay now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now a fair catch, single for and made right about the 43-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's H.A. to start the drive. He's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out of here.
He's got it. Complete. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 46 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush, talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL. Don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter. We're tied 7-7. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll take it past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Washington offense heading out. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they're going to get a nice try and help themselves out.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out, but I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stepped that one down the line of scrimmage.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To the air goes Daniels. In the middle of the field, he's got Malcolm Commanders first down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
And first down is crossing right. And he snapped immediately there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Play action, now it's Daniels. Incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Play action supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you have people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
Now Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. Really tricky. And they'll wind up getting this reportedly down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble that gets him first down. Washington first down. First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner and put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time Dan McGrath with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard gain, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
And he's knocked down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards on the pickup there. That'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And McClure in the motion man right. That run was JCM.
And he's able to work it here with the 8-yard line.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
I think I like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember last drive they went 3 and out.
Now a toss, left side for Boston Miller. And he takes it in. Touchdown Commanders. Jacoby Miller taking it in from 7 yards away. And Washington has taken the lead. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody. It's up and good. It's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the camper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Ryan's offense set and ready to go. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive. They watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know One big play, though, gets him right back up to that level.
Now play fake here on first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The quarterback gets that time and delivers to the 9-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Waller taking it in over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 15, so it'll lead to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it there. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Now back to throw.
The Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
And here's Jake Bailey now. Fielded just inside the 30. And it's a 43-yard return of 5. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense will be looking at for a pass.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A very solid gain of 27.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
On the RPO will keep it himself. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
Give him a couple on the scramble. They suck it down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension to their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Daniels with a good across the middle.
And working inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now we're a 1st down pickup of 8.
They came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Daniels.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he slides and covers up at the end. This is going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this is starting to turn into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Throwing now is Daniels. Now they'll take this and run. Washington touchdown. Now Moody for the PAT. It's good. It is now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play, a really nice one that culminated in the touchdown. So after the big field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And it takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out when they played the football.
Yeah, you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They get going.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he can now hold the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That will send him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the save. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Now that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center. Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. In motion goes the tight end. First down there on a pickup of 25. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So the completion gets him just a yard. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. I mean, defensively, you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick that first down.
Jalen Waddle with a 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Sanders now have the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. A drive there, just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Commanders offense and Jaden Daniels get set for this next possession.
And this defense has got to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in this first half that's really giving him fits. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this one. Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Again, it's Krasky Merritt. And they'll bring it up here right at the 40-yard line. They'll get three as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. And first down, he'll drop the throw. Pick up of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. Looking to throw. Daniels. There's a gain of 4. And that will bring up 2nd down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he gets receiver hit and hit hard.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
That's right, a runner and go option right. And he was in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jared Daniels has run to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys are able to extend their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for them. Mooney good with an extra point. And the lead now up to 13. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
So here's Mooney back out there now to send this one away. That's right. And a real quick make it to the 25. Jalen Warren, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but a shredded defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Here's Archer. And just 3 yards on the catch there. Couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
Let's talk with them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Give him 12 yards there. The Dolphins have the first down. First down, Dolphins. Now look to throw. And this big ways is going to reach back forward.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the cover was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Now he's going to step up and run. He was signed to a stop. He does have the first down. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
That didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder. If he wasn't a first-round pick, they want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he will try to run to their entire defense. They're not reaching that marker.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't land there at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you, the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the flat. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Let's go for a gain of 6. That brings out 3rd and 5 now.
It's a really good catch, but I really like the drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with him for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
Okay, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On is Jake Bailey to send this away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of the end zone, marched to downfield, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
As a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an Excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know they're not going to be shy about throwing the football. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It's an 8-yard pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Or even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he's been terrific in a dual threat role. Really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him. And that's why his side is on top.
Good throw there. It's incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've got a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Trash way on fourth down is sent out to punt. And a fair catch taken here right about the 40-yard line. Jalen Lowry running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense. He's done his part, but so far it's been a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
That doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to put some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
So far, he's north of 100 yards receiving. Good starting field position for him as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line. The drive starts with a run for H.M. Looking for a copy to claim the win for theirs. He's now at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, they drop the throw. That's the run on the quick swing. And he's going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now timeout here, an injured player. That's Jalen Waddle, who seems to be in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. In motion, the tight end. Now H.M. on 1st and 10. This has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
that tight end across the formation left. So it's trying. He's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
And that big game may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
They'll go. Reach in. Not sure if they did. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Here's Krosky Merritt to start the He is now at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9. To throw is Daniels. This is caught. It's Brown. And he gets out near the 25 and about the 24 before going out of bounds.
They were backed up to start the drive, and not anymore. Now that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Now Daniels going to keep it. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. We see double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football will witness it.
Krosky Merritt. And fights forward for a -2-yard gain, 2nd down.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and take it down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Daniels looking to throw. Here's Kyle's tackle. That's complete. And he's going to have the Commanders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Things definitely going wrong for them here in the 1st half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Samuel going to go in motion right. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Decent run and following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And a lot of times these players they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
A run inside, Krosky Merritt. And he'll go down shy of 30 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. To the air goes Daniels. Back to Bryant to Zach Ertz. He's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The end result, 21 yards.
That's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep route to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Debo going in motion left. And Daniels going to give it up on the touchbacks. And in the red zone just inside the trail. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Second down, 6.
Now Daniels.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Straight there to defend, but it's run that precisely, and the ball is delivered that accurately.
Jackson point try now from Moody. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through. Shirts in the lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all total. And it's Debo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So following a touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Miami's set to take over. We've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert. Probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash.
This defense again really making things tough on them as they stop him for no gain. Now we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now 2nd and 10. So it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The pressure was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 3rd and 7. In motion, Hill. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That's complete. And here's going to pound the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you get on basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they enter the field.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. H.M. gets it from the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it the step. Gotta like the way it moved the football partner.
Absolutely, a pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd and 2. Got an open man finding Hill on the comeback route. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Back to throw. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This one from 46 yards out. Sanders' kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Jason Sanders.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Ejected. A good return to the stop just shy of the 30-yard line. One team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I imagine they'll be happy to just take this into the locker room. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here's Daniels. This is Burks on the pitch and catch. Good pick up by the cut. What should be the final play in this first half.
10 yards on the field.
Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando on our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Gannon and Charles Davis.
Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Short throw to caught by Waller. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches. We just saw him do there because he runs like a wide receiver when he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point of attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run a wide receiver between. You can make him a primary target. That's a hell short of defense.
And that is incomplete. But pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the error pass. 4th down coming.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively. They're going to run this open possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And Connor Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Taking about the 16. And getting out of 30 yards following a punt of 34. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Looking to put a drive together. The drive begins with passing one. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. His 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask the defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting the sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing now is Daniels. And pressure coming on the goal once again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. Working out of the game, Daniels. It's complete to the right side. Give him 8 that time. And it's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And he rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. The call for a fair catch is made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here. First down. Short throw caught by Dulcich. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And the ball on the 30. Here's second and 4. Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. This will be caught. It's running. They find some open field there. They'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 70 yards. And the Dolphins get a bit closer.
Remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of his NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Sanders on for the extra point. Makes this an 11-point deficit now. Pretty plain and simple there. Just 2 plays, a long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Shifts down. A decent return out to the 27-yard line. Look at Washington as they come onto the field. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Jet sweep to start the drive. Able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. Takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
That's a lead on the yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 41-yard line.
From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Samuel in motion. Out of the gun, they got Christian there. And he got down on the play at the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's going to be caught by Samuel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll be good for 20 on the catch and run.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the end. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called, they are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
This wouldn't be enough to pick up the first. A game of 2, 3rd and 1.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Daniel's going to try to sneak. And the toucher getting it up before he gets the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And Washington set up now 1st and goal.
They're picking up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, it totally was. I thought they'd go in the back, maybe try to get a lead.
It's touchdown. Washington. Jacoby Crosby-Merritt. His 2nd touchdown of the night. His guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, fair to say they got something here, this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time in the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Now Moody for the PAT. Touchdown run of 6 yards. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Nice little juke. And he brings us out past the 22-24. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, they can get a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. time was to keep it, and not a great one. Once he got out right with the football, there was just nowhere to go.
And I felt bad for his offensive line there because their job is to create creases, right? Create openings. But if those defenders keep their shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and refuse to be budged, that's the end result. No place for him to turn upfield. No chance to gain any yardage.
2nd and 13. Going complete to Hill. That's a good motivation there for 7 yards. And 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. That's Jerome Payne with a sack that time.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. It's taken to the 26. Calling an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They'll begin by running the option. Take this to the other side of the field before getting out of bounds. The ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Pretty ideal right there. Keeping yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I'll get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, or probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man, don't do that.
And we'll find this man Samuel. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another 1st down this time.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've blown leads happen throughout this league.
This is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in the route, or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
And he's been nearly impossible to cover. They complete it to him. He slips it past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Well, thinking of the Josh Reed instead of handoff up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Probably able to 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough day for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively on the side. This is going to get down, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. You can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around with lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And we're going to get another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 36. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Dolphins first down.
When we talk all the time about playing situational football, right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try to get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
Now a play fake here on first down. A lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure to him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
That's out to him. Right side complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 25-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying up with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You don't see that at times. You want a quarterback coming over the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle.
And the big boys up front going to stop him right at the line.
Take him down.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. This will be incomplete. And Rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force it back down.
The kick by Sanders is good. With the deficit down to 15. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting a field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, but teetering right there on the break.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And he was Commanders unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This would never get off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. To throw is Daniels. From right side is going to be caught by Samuel. They'll do a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive in a relatively quick manner. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
Well, the gun is a good motion. Looking for the Crates, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And far up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. I wasn't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Give a big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on a kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch signal for it and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter. Maybe to start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's the first play for Austin Eckler. And we can miss only a couple here to the 24.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Daniels looking to throw. They'll try to do this. He's brought down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So you're saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, I'm okay with it, but I have a feeling this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
This tight end's good. He might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't have that play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to bounce on.
You're right, got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine, and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
There goes a 42, maybe 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. And they're on the pass midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Washington, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
It may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Okay, here goes Daniels. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise on your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Daniels. Taken in by McLaurin. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And it's Cody. And the red zone before he crosses over on Dolphins. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he's hitting up the line of scrimmage. Might have got the yard down to 16.
Well, it instincts to put this offense in a precarious position. We know the security point of attack. As much as the big body guys in the middle of this day has got to be priority 1.
Second down and 8. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's in. Touchdown Commanders. Jordan Daniels. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have put this one away here in the fourth quarter. And that rushing touchdown is for Preseason, just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know we would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But it doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does it? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's out here in this one.
Jackson Point trying out for Moody. And the lead opens up now at 22 points. That time a 6-play drive. And was polished off on a touchdown run from the 16-yard line. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. Solid return from the field position to start the 32. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show, as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, it really was always such an over the way their opponent was playing the ball. They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try to hit the reset button starting tomorrow. You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line is taking charge and control of this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and abundant. They'll set up a throw. Now Riley off the RPO will keep it. And he will slide to the Colts with a penalty marker down on the play. James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. And look to throw. And shortly here secured by the tight end. And that is past the 30. Curry going CDs, now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of touching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. The entire lot remaining, and I'm shocked to see them take another deep shot.
Incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Wilson Martin in motion left. Got a trial here. He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he can now avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Dorrance Armstrong just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
This has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They're going to look to throw. His third sack here tonight.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll drop to throw. Here's Uchi. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball landing downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Incomplete. Took a shot. Couldn't convert. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. But at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Option play, they'll give that up. A good game of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Inexplosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive lineman creating space for their runners. That old coach told me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second down. And a strong run there is on the runners way down inside the 15. 14 yards there on Washington first. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They get the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. offense on third down tonight? They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They need just to go here. It's 31. And I don't think he got there. No, they step away where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll be stopped at the 25. This offense and their wideout headed back onto the field. And you take a look at the numbers, not much to complain about on that ledger. He has been terrific to this point in the proceedings. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just haven't been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
You have to get rid of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points against some plays they can build on moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now they'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Third and 3. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 3rd and short, they try to pick it up from the air. And a broken tackle, that's maybe a 1st down gain. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Well, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a 4th down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the 1st down.
In motion right here, Washington. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to have to eat this when he's down the guys.
You know, these types of plays where I was looking to assess blame, you can work in a breakdown. Sometimes it's just a great play.
Second and 10.
Stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled her by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
The Washington offense set to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. And they're going to take him down across the 40 at the 45 in enemy territory. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see it. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play to hit the scramble, see that lane, and bring it for the first down.
And past the 35, when he dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
There's a beautiful throw there. He's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation.
So the completion go for 6 yards. And it'll be second down. Now Daniel's going to get it up on the touchdowns. Just a yard on the pickup there. They leave them with a 3rd and 3.
And they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner, turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Here's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Daniels. Working in the middle of the field. He's got him there complete. And he's going to have the Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll find nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
Under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.